containing over 300 diagrams demonstrating Donnie's full range of dramatic emotions. Donnie happy, Donnie sad, Donnie worried, Donnie mad.
I like your hair there. We're back with Marie Osmond. That's her brother Donnie from the 1970s classic, The Donnie and Marie Show. It was so silly and cute. What do you think when you look at that?
Well, we were teenagers. I was 14 when I did those shows. I know, crazy, right? And Donnie's older, but...
Was you at 14 right there?
I was probably around 16 there.
Look how poised
Look how poised and the timing and the... I mean, you guys are... It's amazing.
No, we worked with the best. I grew up working with people like Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Elvis Presley, Lucille Ball. You know, she taught me lighting, and they were
lighting, like how to sit in the light.
She sat around for how to. She said, "You want to stay longevity? Know your lighting," and she.
It's so true.
Yeah, it's very true. But I, you know, in our talk show, we debuted Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Jessica Simpson. So I've watched all through my life, and I watch the young. I have friends now, wonderful people, but it was a wonderful education. It was a lot of hard work. 18 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I wouldn't take any of it back. I think we learn from our hard things, and I learned to work, I learned to appreciate, and I worked, like I said, with great people.
A little different back then. I feel like a lot of times, especially with child stars, there was no complaining. Like, you were just on set, doing the hours, and that sort of is what it is. What do you think of sort of today's youth and how it appears they're handling it all?
Well, there's always those who, there's an entitlement. But I do think that there are wonderful people that work hard, and I think that they appreciate it. They're nice to the people going up as they are coming down. And I think that's really important, that you realize everybody around you is part of your team, and they're all there. I just ran into somebody who was on the Donnie and Marie talk show.
Oh, I love it.
And yesterday there was a guy who took pictures on the original talk show. You run into everybody. It's a very small industry. And, but I think that the people are... the difference is are you an entertainer or are you a celebrity?
Right.
Do you know?
Is the talent.
Yeah.
I think you said back doing the show in the 70s that there was a time you dieted down to 97 pounds.
I'd kill for that.
And you were 15 years old.
Honey. No.
But this is back when, it was, we're politically correct now, but that's just a little over the line, a 15-year-old girl. Yeah,
you look at, Olivia's a very good friend of mine. We were talking about how it was the lollipop head, era, it was the Twiggy thing. And I was 103 pounds, and it's in one of my books. I'm a New York Times bestselling author. I write about these things.
Yeah. But what did they say to you? You're 103 pounds,
and they said
healthy.
Basically they would cancel the show if I didn't drop 10 pounds, and I was an embarrassment to my family. And if anybody said anything, if I said anything to them, that they would call me a liar. And so you believe those things when you're 15 years old. And so there were head trips. I think being a celebrity child is an interesting position to come out of. I think the benefits for me is that I had 8 children that I had to raise, and in a lot of ways helping them helped me see what normal was and what struggles are and what real life is supposed to be, not this entitled craziness that sometimes happens in our industry. And I had a mother who was brilliant and a father who was so loving. And I would come home after, 18 hours of work, and he would say, or my mother would say, okay, it's time to learn how to bottle peaches and go clean the toilet.
I think about your family. So you with 8 kids, you have 8 brothers and sisters. You now are a grandmother.
I have 8 brothers, no sisters.
8 brothers. You're the only one. Sorry, 8 siblings. Do you ever all get together? Does he count? Do you ever all get together for holidays? It has to be quite the zoo. When's the last time the entire family was together?
Well, we're trying to work it out this year. We try to get together at least once a year where everybody can get together, but we see each other all the time. I think the last time was Oprah.
When they all came out?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Look at that.
Oh. Yeah.
Can you name every single person in that picture?
Yes. Absolutely. It's my family.
Oh, my God.
That's not even half of them. Half of them were in the nursery crying.
Is that unbelievable?
It's true.
Do you miss dancing with
Oprah didn't understand. She doesn't have children. The call time was like 5:30 in the morning, and I was like, really? With children?
Oh,
you want that?
Do you miss Dancing with the Stars?
No.
You called it Dancing with the Starved.
Dancing with the Starved.
You had the famous pass out that they play almost every season. They will go to the most dramatic with Tom Bergeron.
It was so funny because on that show, well, yeah, and where was Tom catching me and John? You know, you watch it and it's like boom, and they sit there. I don't know what to do. I have this knot on my head. No.
Why Dancing with the Starved? What happened?
On Dancing with the Stars, well, I dieted. I was 50 pounds overweight, and was going through a divorce, custody battle. You know, I had to go, you know, just take care of my kids and pay all the attorney bills. And so I said, you know, I guess I'll go back to work, but I need to drop some weight. And but anyway, I lost almost 35 pounds on that show.
Wow.
So every week it was like, oh my goodness, she's disappearing.
Yeah, there she goes. What is the key, by the way, to keeping weight off? And, you know, when you get into middle age, is it portions? Does it all come down to portions?
I believe portion size is and eating consistently. I used to starve, not eat breakfast, whatever. I eat all day long now. Honestly, I think a lot of it too is you finally get to a place in your life where, like it or lump it, this is me, and no one's going to take care of you but you. My grandmother always told me that, and I thought, well, that's kind of selfish philosophy. But it's not, because it's like putting an oxygen mask on yourself before you can help everybody else. You know, just chill a little bit more and not be so hard on yourself. And when you eat, yeah, it's great to eat a whole pint of ice cream, but then afterwards you feel like crap.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it.
I always call it putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. It just gets harder and harder and harder. Pretty
You know,
soon.
he's so cute, isn't he?
Isn't he a cute
Yeah,
one?
he's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, ladies.
Are you feeling better about yourself, Humpty?
Yeah, Humpty's feeling all right now. Coming back together just fine.
Marie's new album, Music is Medicine, drops this Friday, April 15th.
Coming up,
Tax day.
Oh, yeah.
Tax
good one.
day.
See, I figure you'll be so depressed you need some music for medicine.
We can dance around.
Good way to spend a little of that refund.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Coming up, Noah Galloway, speaking of Dancing with the Stars, is here to tell us about his new military competition series, American Grit with John Cena, after these messages from your local station.
Thank you.